Hi, I'm Danny with eTrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the line of our MORryde GooseTech Goose boxes. If you're on this page, then likely you're somebody who already has a fifth wheel pin box and you're wanting to switch that to a Goose box, or maybe you already have a Goose box, but it has that airbag in there and it keeps losing air like our neighbor used to have, and there's just a lot of maintenance, you don't want to deal with that. Or you're experiencing front and back or side-to-side chucking and you're just feeling that weight of the trailer. Then you probably want to take a look at the GooseTech here because it has those internal rubber springs, so it's going to stop a lot of that and it's maintenance free. The rubber shear spring technology that MORryde has in their Goose boxes here, that's what basically stops the harshness from the road transferring into your cab. Unlike some of those fifth wheel pin boxes, they have those metal kingpins and those can jostle around and transfer all that bump into your drivability and into your cab. Now we'll get in our truck and back it up into our Goose box and drop it down onto our gooseneck ball. And once we've done that, we can grab our safety chains and get those attached. And once we've done that, we'll connect our breakaway switch and our wiring, and that's pretty much it. Now, something to note is this kit will not come with your safety chains, but we do talk about that later in our install section. Something else MORryde has thought of is this piece of metal. This is going to control the latch in your Goose box, so you can uncouple it a lot easier, so you don't have to actually crawl in there to manually do it. So I'll go ahead and show you how this works. So if you're ready to uncouple, there's just a latch on the back. You just use this device to pull this all the way down, and now you can uncouple. What's really nice about the GooseTech, and the reason why so many people seem to like it even though it's so new, is it has 3 inches front and back movement. So when you do those hard stops, it won't push on your truck as much, and it does have internal rubber springs in here. So it's going to prevent that chucking, and you're not going to feel it back here quite as much as some of the other ones we have on the market. And the big thing too is it doesn't require maintenance. So the Reese that he had on here before, it had an internal airbag that you had to constantly fill, and he was just having issues where you'd have to fill that all the time, and he just didn't want that hassle. So this is going to solve that problem. This Goose box is going to give you a smooth ride and going to be maintenance free, like I said, which is why you would pick this over some of the other Goose boxes we have on the market. Now, why would you upgrade this to maybe your standard pin box that will receive your fifth wheel hitch? And that's because those are really big in your truck. So if you have a fifth wheel hitch in your truck, you know those are super heavy and super big, and you can't really use your bed for anything else other than towing your trailer. So upgrading to this allows you to have your bed space back. The next thing to consider is to make sure that your Goose box matches the bolt pattern. So I'm just going to measure between the bolts here, and we have 7.5, so that means it is the Rhino bolt pattern. Now, what's nice about MORryde is they have a ton of different versions, so they're going to fit your exact setup. So just check our website and make sure you get the right one. Next thing you want to look for is for your GVWR, and that's going to be somewhere on your trailer. That's going to be your max weight capacity that your trailer is packed up with. Now, that's going to help you determine what kind of hitch you need. We went with 11,500 because our trailer is 10,750 pounds. Check yours because MORryde has a ton of different options with different weight capacities, so you definitely want to pick the one that's just above your GVWR rating. Now you may be thinking if they're priced similarly, you could just get one that's maybe rated for 30,000 pounds with a 10,000 pound trailer, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because those internal springs are built for that weight, so it's going to sacrifice ride quality. Now you will need a gooseneck hitch to connect to your Goose box, and our neighbor today, he actually has a B&W underbed gooseneck hitch, what I would recommend getting if you don't have a puck system. Now, a puck system is just going to be already installed OEM from the factory. If you're somebody who doesn't have that puck system and you want to get an aftermarket gooseneck hitch, check out our fit guide and you can put in your year, make, model, and then you can determine which one will fit your truck properly. We'll head back in the shop and show you how we took the old Goose box off and put the new one on. Now, it is really easy. It's just a series of bolts you have to take on and off. Now, the hard part is getting it in place because it is so heavy. Now, if you don't have a way of lifting that in place, you can check out our dealer locator and we can find a professional in your area to get this installed for you. But if you have a way to put it up in place, follow along and we'll walk you through how we did it. First thing we want to do is remove the old Goose box or fifth wheel. And what you want to do is take note of where your bolts are. So I just drew some lines to mark because we're going to be putting the new one exactly on the same holes. But now I will get these all removed and get this taken out. I got these bottom bolts taken out already, and I'm just using a 15/16 socket and wrench to get these loosened up. You can save this hardware if you want, but your kit will come with new bolts. Before we get all the bolts removed, you definitely want to support this so it doesn't fall down. We just have a pallet and a forklift and just a little jack stand to support it. But if you don't have this, you can use a truck, back it in here, and get the same result, or you grab maybe 6 of your friends because this is pretty heavy. But now I'll get the other bolts removed.
Now, you're free.
Yeah, we're good. We got our new Goose box here, and we got some jack stands under it, and we're just going to lift this up the same way we took the other one down, and we're going to line it up and just lift it straight up here. Now we got the back two in, and now we can pivot to get the front in. It's really nice to have these alignment pins. They're really thin. You can just stick them in there and move this around a lot easier. I'll get these bolts in place, and we'll just get the nut secured on the back. Now using the same 15/16 wrench and socket, I'll get these all tightened down. I'll get these torqued down now to the specs and the instructions. And when tightening these down with the impact, you may not need that wrench on the backside because these are flange nuts, so they will bite into the metal. So I'll just get these torqued down. And if you don't have a torque wrench at home, you can usually rent one from your local auto parts store. Now we can install our safety chains. We just have the Gen Y safety chains right here. And these are nice because they're just one long cable and they'll go through the holes on the back. So I will have to take one of our clevis hooks off. I just got some needle nose. I'll take this pin out. Then I'll just feed this through. Once you got these relatively even on either side, we can put our clevis hook back on. Get this put through and then put our pin back in place. Once you've torqued everything down and set up your safety chains, that will complete the installation. Now, if you have any questions about what pin box is going to work best with your setup, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at eTrailer, and we'd love to help you out and point you in the right direction. Now, once you've done all that, you can hook this up to your truck, and you have a nice, smoother ride with your new MORryde GooseTech pin box. I'm Daniel. Thanks for watching.